Alright, y'all, what's up? We're back with another video, man. I know you guys see the Philadelphia hat. So what? We lost yesterday. Don't care. We jumping into this video today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And listen, this one right here very much piqued my interest. And we know on this channel that we talk about these things. And the crazy thing about it is we always had some type of trajectory of like what it could or should be or what it actually is. This video right here is going to explain the 5 types of industry plants. I mean, you think I'm playing when we talk about the Glorillas, the Sexy Reds, the Georgianas, you know, all these people that create these narratives. 9 times out of 10, they don't even live that life. So let's jump into this video, man. Like, subscribe, and comment, man. Remember, look at this video, and we do these things with discernment because we just want to understand what's going on here. Because the industry is actually falling. I'm doing a lot of talking, but let's jump into this video. Let's go.
Artist blows up overnight. The internet does what the internet does best. The term industry plant gets thrown around so much now that, I mean, it's hard to even know what it means anymore. See, there's levels to this. And let's start with the ones who hide it best. The organic.
Step on the
Level
glass.
1 is the organic.
Stay your tongue.
These are the artists who still need you to believe that they started from nothing. The story has to feel real. The struggle, the discovery, the breakthrough, the indie darlings who got lucky with a viral moment. But if you look closer, their bedroom is in a $1 million house that their parents own, or that viral moment was coordinated by PR agents and
That's
label
crazy. They built these rooms to put them in. Oh my God.
They keep the aesthetics of DIY, but behind the scenes, there was professional management going on.
Oh my God.
Even before you knew their name. Artists like Billie Eilish.
I've wanted to do this like my whole life, so I'm a little shaky.
Now, she's talented, but the whole
She's an alien. She's not, or she's fake.
Bedroom thing, that's not the whole story. What they don't mention is Phineas was already working in the music industry. Their mom was an actress. Their dad was in bands. They grew up in LA, already around the entertainment industry.
Told y'all. I told y'all, man. I told y'all. Listen. There's no coincidence in the industry, dog. Someone always knows somebody. Whoever gets to the top always knew somebody to get there. 9 times out of 10, all these rappers and stuff, they all live in the same compound because they're all getting scouted the same type of way. This is crazy.
You grew up homeschooled.
Yeah.
Did that shape who you are and who you will be? Because
And by the time Ocean Eyes dropped, Phineas had already written and produced for other artists. He had a manager. He understood how the machine
can't make
worked.
this shit up, bro.
It's
just all fake.
The setup
This gimmick,
was
y'all.
already there. See, there was this guy named Danny Rukerson who became her manager. And Danny was business partners with Brandon Goodman. And Brandon managed Fall Out Boy. So Billy already had deep industry connections from the start. See, the organic plan, they're the smartest plays because they keep the indie credibility while having major label resources.
Oh my God.
That's not the case with level 2.
Oh, here goes level 2.
To build anything.
What's on level 2, y'all? This is a good video. This is a good video. This is a good video. Level 2, the ice. Level 2, the obvious. Who's that? Forget his name. Juice WRLD discovered him. Who's this? This is Iggy Azalea. This is Ice Spice.
These are the artists who don't exist one day, and then the next day they're on every playlist. The push is so aggressive that even casual listeners notice that something's a little off. You see them on festival lineups before they have a fan base.
Let me tell you something about Ice Spice. I knew Ice Spice. I didn't really know her, but there was a time before when she blew up. I was working with another music industry. I mean, a label, an independent label. Shout out to the A+. And I almost had her to the studio to work with one of their artists. And this was before she was signed. I mean, she had at least 50,000 on her Instagram and no blue check. And then I'll tell you what, the following week after that, she blew up because that's when she had that song, In the Name of Love. That was the real song, not that other song that they blew up off of. In the Name of Love was her real song that was getting her name buzzing around. But even though this video is going to tell you who was behind the scenes with her.
Getting late night TV slots before they have a catalog.
She literally blew up.
Collaborating with A-listers on their second single. The machine gives them all the signs of success before they've even earned it. They'll have 50 million streams, but you never heard anybody play their music in real life.
Munch, that was the song.
Nobody's actually talking about them. They're everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They're betting that if they push hard enough and fast enough, eventually fans will follow. Most of the time it doesn't work, or it only works temporarily. But when it does work, it works fast. Now, she's cliche to talk about at this point, but the artist most people talk about in this category has to be Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Once again, Ice Spice.
It's crazy, dog, because I'm telling you, bro. I literally would have this opportunity to chill. I got DMs. I can even share on this.
She was already being called the Princess of Rap. And then she was at the Met Gala
out of nowhere.
Also, her music video blew up on World Star Hip Hop. And I can tell you, being in the music industry,
that's not the music video that blew
charges big money to feature you. But if you look even closer than that, her label 10K Projects is run by Elliot Grange. And Elliot
it's crazy because 10K Project catches these artists, and then they become big. 10K Project is one of the biggest labels, right? They had Trippie Redd blew off of 10K Project, 6ix9ine blew up off of 10K Project, Ice Spice blew off of 10K Project. The list goes on. 607, what is his name? Something Kwame, 706, whatever his name is. But 10K Projects,
the son of Lucian Grange, who runs Universal Music Group.
And he owns Universal Music Group. So he has his own label. He has 2 labels. This is how they control it. They start the big one, Universal, Sony, UMG, and then they got little sister companies, which is 10K Project, and they sign people under those things, so they own all of it.
Door being open for you at the same time. Another
That's
one
all
is
she does.
Boy.
Shake her ass, dog.
Go. She always be talking like she no.
Now he's a controversial one because
there's
there's signs of him being an industry plant, but his upbringing and his start in the music industry is pretty highly debated. It's hard to really know for sure.
Yeah,
First off, his dad was a music producer and sound engineer, and his mom was a talent manager. And after some digging, I found out that she started a management company called Mama Capone Management to help Kid Leroy and the people he was working with get on the map. And it goes a little bit deeper because the claim is that he grew up in poverty in the ghettos of Australia. But some of these early photos I found would say otherwise. And of course, I wasn't there, so we still can't say for sure. But between the Juice WRLD features and the Justin Bieber collabs, it felt like he was being marketed as the next global superstar out of nowhere.
Right.
The most recent person people like to throw in this category is Doechii. Now, when you factor in her versatility and her stage presence, I think it's hard to say
she's like
she's not talented or doesn't deserve recognition. But everything was just so aggressive with her rise that people were calling her a plant before giving her a chance. So she signed to TDE, Kendrick's label. They're an independent label, but they got ties with the big 3 record companies.
Of course.
Sony, Universal.
Of course, like I said, they all own all of it. They own all of it. Us black people are the ones that are in the forefront of everything that you can think about, but we don't own any of it. That's the problem. That's the problem, and that shit ends now, dog. We gonna own labels, we gonna own entertainment, we gonna own all, because we are at the forefront of all of it, but we own none of it. But now we are waking up now and understanding it. It's crazy. Even you can start your own record label, even like Dreamville, still under like Rock Nation, whatever, because J. Cole is owned by Jay-Z.
And Warner. She basically went from up-and-coming artist to winning a Grammy for Best Rap Album overnight.
She got a Grammy and Kendrick signed her.
When you first look into it,
didn't know that.
At one point, she just seemed like your average YouTuber that was on the come-up. But it's pretty clear that she's had some big label backing before we all knew who she was. It's one thing to develop an artist's talents and skills, but it's another thing to spend major label money on plays and views. But what happens when an artist presents themselves as not having any money, no family,
Iggy Azalea,
being 16 in the middle of Miami? Amethyst Amelia Kelly, a.k.a. Iggy Azalea.
First things first, I'm the realist. Drop this and let the whole world feel it.
A white girl from Australia.
Nah, we don't feel it.
But you would never know that from listening to her fake urban southern accent.
Better check my tax bracket. What you think was gonna happen? Nagging, now he's leaving, and y'all broke up like madmen.
What?
She became obsessed with southern hip hop, and during that time, it was so different and unexpected.
They almost make me want to watch
the
that.
red carpet for her. I mean, he signed her, and they basically constructed an entire persona. They got her on big interviews, featured with major artists like Charlie XCX, and the machine took off from there. At first, everybody embraced her, even the black community.
Is her handler.
She was invited to the cookout, as we like to say.
T.I. is her handler. I did not know that.
But as time went on and racial tension started to flare back up in America, she got caught up in the culture vulture conversations. And once the culture rejected her, the machine couldn't save her. Some of it started with the feud between Iggy Azalea and Azalea Banks after Iggy won Best Rap Album at the Grammys.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today, you know? And when they...
Y'all know how I feel about all the black rappers right now, the females one. I don't think any of their music is good at all right now. If you're asking me, I'm quite friendly pissed off at the goddesses on how they're projecting their throat chakra with their music. But we do know it's behind the scenes. The woman do this and they'll do anything. Give woman this and they'll do anything. Now, I'm sorry. We have to differentiate. A woman doesn't really care about money. She cares about money, right? She'll do anything for it. She'll do backflips. She'll, you know, I don't know if y'all ever saw Coming to America. He was like, bark like a dog and jump on your foot. They will do that, yes, for money. Women don't care about money. They care about their value, their essence of what they are as a woman. All non-sentimental material things they care about. A real woman cares about her aura and who she is spiritually. Care about physical shit, all right? These girl rappers care about
the
physical.
Grammys are supposed to be like accolades for artistic excellence. You get what I mean? Iggy Azalea is not excellent.
The base.
None of them are, though.
Things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category.
Right.
Put her with Katy Perry.
That's what she. That's what she kind of does.
In
Yeah.
the same fucking box together.
Don't put her in hip hop.
Don't put her in
Don't
hip hop.
put her
She's
in
rapping
hip-hop.
over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music.
Right.
Ultimately, this all led up to Iggy Azalea quitting music and becoming an OF model and
Oh, my
crypto
God.
entrepreneur. I think she knew she couldn't keep it up, especially when hip-hop legends like Q-Tip started coming out and talking about it. But it goes to show when an industry plan is too obvious, especially when it's built around a gimmick, sometimes the downfall can be just as quick as the rise.
Well,
All right, so listen up.
there you have it, man. Well, we got 2 more layers left. Let's see what he got to say. Level 3, the puppets.
Now, the puppet is where it gets dark and where I might make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the industry wanted them to be.
What is this, a drag show?
Make some people mad. But these are the artists who became what the...
What is this, a drag? Yeah, these are, yeah. Drag. Why are the drag queens on a Katy Perry? You know how many kids probably there with their parents?
industry wanted them to be, and not necessarily what they wanted to be. Sabrina Carpenter and Katy Perry deserve honorable mentions here, but if you want to see a full inside look on their stories, I'll link my videos in the show notes. Both of them had mediocre to average success in music until the industry overlords got a hold of them and changed everything about them. Katy Perry was a gospel artist, and Sabrina was a wholesome Disney child star. Another artist a lot of people talk about in this category would be Tate McRae.
I don't even know who the hell that is. They all look the same, if you ask
If
me.
there was ever a person literally bred to be a pop star, it's probably Tate. Tate has actually been famous since she was around 8 years old. Not for music, but she was internationally known as a dancer. Her mom owned a dance company and had Tate in training since she was around 6.
You
Now,
can't make
everything
this
blew
shit
up
up,
for
dog.
her
They
after
all...
a YouTube video of her singing an original song called One Day, which has blown up to over 40 million views.
I've understood that you will never be mine, and
41 million views on that.
Now, usually
What?
you wouldn't label this kind of rise as industry plant. I mean, Justin Bieber got the same kind of start on YouTube. But her brand shift is where the water gets a little muddy. She had pretty good success as the bedroom singer-songwriter, but even pop fans got caught off guard by her sexy pop diva rebrand. But who we really got to talk about is Lady Gaga. Stephanie Germanotta was playing piano in New York dive bars in 2005. She was doing jazz standards and just wearing normal clothes. And then she got signed to Def Jam at 19.
Oh,
but
my God.
She got dropped after
Wrong
3
move.
months. L.A. Reid, he literally signed her and forgot about her. He just wasn't that interested. He thought she was too normal and too boring.
Signed her and
not
forgot
that
about her.
marketable. So after that, Gaga changed everything. She was
She
ready to
took
be
an oath.
what the industry wanted her to be.
Mm-hmm.
She started studying what worked, what got attention. She analyzed Madonna's career. She dumbed down her skills, simplified everything, and focused on one goal: fame. By 2007,
Yeah,
she was a
demonic
completely
imagery.
different person. She
Look
was
at all
go-go
that.
dancing, setting her hairspray on fire. She wasn't Stephanie anymore. She met her producer, Red
She wasn't
One, and got
Stephanie
hooked up with
anymore.
Akon, and they just went straight up synth pop. But the interesting thing is, she never really hid that she was just playing a character. But usually there's a consequence that comes with not being yourself.
I think people, real fans, probably knew deep down that there was something going on.
You know, letting go of who I was before, and I don't mean becoming, you know, Lady Gaga and leaving that behind. That's not what I mean by that.
Exactly
what I
what you
mean
mean, girl.
is, you know, my life is different now.
The whole Joanne era.
You see how they love bro, the enemy loves throwing in a little piece of truth and then hits you with a little bit of technology. That is the master of, Satan is the master of technology. And he teaches his people the master of technology. And that's why the whole world is confused and tricked right now, because Satan is really ruling right now. But it's okay. His time is over with. The shift is here. But these artists can't keep being who they are. It's over with. The whole illusion of the artist and rapper and celebrity, that illusion is over with. As time continues to expand, it's done. We got one more category we're going with. Let's see. Enough for Lady Gaga, man. We already know.
That's the case for level 4. The Nepo,
Nepo babies. The Nepo babies, of course. The celebrity babies. Let's see what they got to talk about with the celebrity babies.
These artists were industry before they were even artists. They grew up in recording studios. They had dinner with label executives. Got babysat by other pop stars.
They're celebrity
about
kids.
Their journey, their struggle, their grind. But they had access to producers, writers, studios, nannies. They could fail as much as they want and still get another shot.
Yep.
The Nepo baby has
the Nepo babies. I got me dead. Yeah.
Failure is not possible. Willow and Jada Smith were destined before they were even born.
Facts.
Willow dropped Whip My Hair at 10 years old on Rock Nation.
I remember that. That was everywhere.
And then she got to quit music because it was too much pressure. Then she got to come back whenever she felt like it. She could experiment with rock and indie, whatever sound she wanted, because, I mean, failing
Will
had
Smith
no consequence.
and Jada
Then you got
Pinkett's
Blue
daughter.
Ivy. Now, she did a good job voice acting on Mufasa, but should she really have a Grammy?
She got a Grammy?
You want a Grammy tonight? I'm so...
How the fuck she win a Grammy? This is how you know this shit is just a stage, dog. And what the fuck do we care about these trophies anyway? What the hell? Why have so many people sit here, and I used to be doing it, I used to watch too. Why do we sit here and watch these idols that people literally glorify, and these people don't push anything positive or trying to transform, make anybody's future in a way that they are winning? All they do is manipulate, put out bad music, controlling lyrics, and then her daughter gets a Grammy for literally speaking on Lion King, being a voice actor. A Grammy.
I'm proud of you.
Your mom is Beyonce. It don't matter
Crazy.
what it should be. It just is.
Look at it. He got
Now,
the,
the next Nepo baby might
Mason
surprise
John.
some of you guys. But yes, Drake is a Nepo baby.
Drake is
The
a
most
Nepo
talented one
baby.
for sure. But if you don't believe me, I think it's time that we
Uh-oh.
actually meet the Grahams.
Uh-oh.
So his dad, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who worked with Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was one of the pioneers for rock and roll. Then you got his uncle,
Jerry
Larry
Lewis.
Graham,
Larry
who was a
Graham.
singer himself, and he was a bass player for Sly and the Family Stone, one of the most famous funk groups of all time.
Wow.
And then you got his other uncle, Teenie Hodges, who was a songwriter.
Oh, Drake was
and
just
guitar
plugged
player
in.
for Al Green. Drake
Generational.
was playing on Degrassi and making $50 grand a year when he was a teenager. When that ended, he had money and connections that could fund his own mixtapes. Now, started from the bottom is
50.
great branding, but the bottom was middle class.
He's making
industry connections.
$4,000 a
The
month
most
as a kid.
successful and possibly the saddest of them all is level 5, the super plant.
Oh, the super
Plant
plant.
is close to a robot as you
5
can be.
levels, y'all. I
They
thought it
don't
was.
write their own music. They don't choose their image. They don't control their social media. They show up, perform the
Look
role
at
they've
that.
been given, and they just collect a
Look
percentage.
at that. Oh
Most
my
of them
God.
start
They
from
have
childhood
music
and
video
they've
like
been
that?
put
That's
through
crazy.
development programs. There's people that control what they eat, control what they say. They'll pretend to date somebody just because it's good for their image. Their whole life becomes content. And sadly, they're the ones that usually have the most trauma and depression and mental health issues.
Yeah,
Britney
literally, 'cause
Spears
they
is
only
probably
express
the most
themselves.
tragic example of the super plant. When Britney was on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was basically an all-star training camp. You had Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Ryan Gosling. They were all kids being groomed for stardom.
Oh my God, dog. And these kids, these people, it gets really deep, y'all. It gets really deep. Like, these facilities, these companies, these businesses actually have breeding facilities where they actually breed these individuals and put them out to the masses. So no wonder why you see them all on Mickey Mouse Playhouse. You know, they could tell us that they lived somewhere, whatever. They breeded these down in their labs and they put them out on TV. They already shown and have this documented, dog. Look at all.
She signed with Jive Records when she was 15. They created the whole package for her.
These people we
Britney
see on
could
TV
actually
ain't
sing,
even
but
real,
They were
y'all.
giving her baby voice pop songs. And then they even controlled her virginity. Because she wasn't a virgin, but they told her she had to tell the public that.
People come to us and
It's crazy, dog. These are the individuals that aren't real. Like I'm telling you, they were actually bred in these laboratories. Why else does their whole life be controlled?
So she could stay pure.
I'm just wondering,
She's nowhere to be found right now. And she had one of the biggest careers. And her dad owned all her money, supposedly, from the handler.
Because I'm kind of stuck in this little place where people are always asking me, but you know, that's just something that's part of growing up, and that's just something that we all have to deal with. So
They wanted to keep that young and innocent vibe, but at the same time, they were marketing her to be provocative. By the time she was in her prime, she had been in the industry so long that she was already starting to lose herself. She got married for 2 days. She beat up a car with an umbrella, shaved her head.
These are malfunctions with their systems. They're not real. She's not real. She's malfunctioning her
Constant
avatar.
pressure of being one of the most famous.
Promise
people
you
on
she's
the planet.
not real, dog.
I mean, it completely took over. The conservatorship made it even worse. She was unfit to control her own life, but fit enough to release albums and generate millions of dollars. Then K-pop takes this to a whole nother level. They treat music like it's an Olympic sport. They take 12-year-olds.
They not
call
real
them
either.
Trainees. They keep them in dorms and they make them practice.
They
16
not
hours a
real,
day.
y'all. I'm sorry, I
They give
keep
them
saying it,
personality
but
types.
let's just put it like this, y'all. If you were in their shoes, if you were the industry and you had a machine that had the whole world, and you had the power to have your own lab, and you had genetic modifying breeding, and you can make clones, and you can rate avatars and people, and then you can promote them to the world without having to real find the image. You could just literally just like you were saying, they put them in rooms, they have them have their own life, they control what they're doing, they tell them what they eat, they tell them where to show up, they tell them what car to go in, they tell them when to get home, they control literally their whole life because they are not real. They are avatars. They are not people that have their own decisions because they're made in a laboratory. That's why they have these sperm banks. That's why they have these blood drives. That's why they have these plasma places. That's why people donate. They make other bodies with these things that they get from us. So therefore, when you see them, it looks real. When's the last time y'all actually had X-ray vision and you can actually see through somebody when you're walking? 9 times out of 10, half of them don't even have any real organs inside of their body. They're just a machine in there and they look real. Because people die every day and they use people's bodies, skin suits. It's crazy out here, dog. This is the age of Aquarius where all this stuff is being exposed and shown. That's why I'm doing this channel, man.
And
Let's continue.
When the company can't make a profit off of them anymore, they disband the group.
Yep.
But the Asian music markets, what they tend to do is they learn from the American music market of the past. Because this goes all the way back to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys.
Yep.
Both of the groups were put together by Lou
Look at this
Pearlman.
guy.
He was a music manager who both of the groups actually ended up suing in the
Weirdos,
end. But he
man.
held auditions and he picked the members of the group, gave them the music, told them what words to sing. He even did a whole marketing campaign where he put the groups against each other. And the worst of it all, in the contracts, he put himself as one of the members of the group and was stealing money from them. But at the end of the day, the super plant pretty much has no control. Now, there's quite a few artists I didn't get a chance to talk about in the video. So let me know in the comments who you think is an industry plant that I didn't mention. And if you enjoyed this video, watch this one next for the full breakdown on Katy Perry, or watch this one for the full breakdown on Sabrina Carpenter. I'll catch you over there.
Like, subscribe, comment, man. Peace.